Hello and welcome to another episode of Video Game Reviews. Today I'll be talking about Prison City on the Nintendo Switch. As you can see, Prison City is a neo-retro game in the style of an NES classic. And I have to say, if this had been released back in the day, it would have been regarded today as an NES classic for sure. So, and with that, we're going to breeze right over the presentation portion of the show. It absolutely looks and sounds the part of an NES classic. You either love it or you don't. I happen to. Prison City takes place in a slightly futuristic and more post-apocalyptic version of Detroit. Although based on some of the things I've heard, this may actually be an accurate depiction of the present-day Motor City. No disrespect to anyone in Detroit, but if you can't take a few jokes about your city, you should probably avoid this game because it definitely has a few. Anyways, the controls are fairly tight for the most part. The moveset is pretty straightforward. You can slide, you can jump, you can grab onto ledges, and you can throw your chakrams, which, for those of you who haven't played Secret of Mana, a chakram is basically like the Predator's disc weapon. It's like essentially a boomerang. Even though the level select is set up similar to a Mega Man game or Vengeful Guardian Moon Rider, which I incidentally think is a slightly better game than Prison City. You can check out that Moon Rider review here on the channel if you're so inclined. Anyways, even though Prison City has that style of level select, you don't gain any new weapons or abilities for beating levels. Instead, you can find power-ups that strengthen your chakram. You can also find grenades and powers up for your maximum health and your weapon power meter. On easy mode, you can more or less tank through the game until you get to the quote-unquote Dr. Wily type stages, like after you beat all the stages on the level select screen, and then you go into, you get the idea, the final area. Anyway, in that final area, you're definitely gonna face a few challenges, even on easy mode. And that's appropriate. I mean, honestly, that's the way it should be, I think. One notch up from that. So you got easy, next step up, normal mode. The game becomes truly Nintendo hard, as they say. Yeah, normal is pretty tough. In the end, is Prison City worth it? Well, let's just look at it. It's very authentic in terms of its NES inspiration. It has references to Bionic Commando, TMNT on the NES, and Power Blade, and Mega Man, just to name a few of its very obvious inspirations. Is a solid new NES game worth the $17 asking price on the eShop? While this isn't my favorite NES-inspired game, it is very good, and I think $17 is a very reasonable asking price if this sort of thing appeals to you at all. So that pretty much does it for this one. Please click like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time, whenever that may be. Bye-bye.